It's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you can see, I'm here with another book tag. Another original book tag. Now, if you've been with me before, you might know that I love coupling. This BBC series came out now 26 years ago, or the first season came out then. Uh, it's with uh, it's with the guy from like every BBC, well, every British movie. He's the villain and everything, but he's also in Pirates of Caribbean. He's called. Now I'm blanking out. His name is Jack Davenport. It's Jack Davenport, and he's recently in that new historical series, the Forsytes. And then you have, well, these other ones. Well, sorry. So you also have blah 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 blah. Gina Bellman of Leverage fame. But other than that, these people sadly, I feel like to me also, like even like I follow British TV. I don't really feel like the other actors haven't really done stuff except coupling. Well, they've done stuff, but like they haven't really done stuff in like a big way. But yeah. Anywho, also, yeah, from the picture here, you don't see the character I'm going to talk about in this tag, in this video. I'm going to be talking about, well, I'm going to talk about Jeff. And yeah, Jeff Murdoch, as his character is called, he is kind of like uh, the big comic relief guy. He has a lot of thoughts. He has the weirdest ideas. I feel like he's kind of all of us, but to the max. Like he overthinks so much. Like, and also, yeah, he thinks a lot about sex, like a lot about sex, and he also has like a lot of words for breasts. But yeah, anyway, so this one scene in the series where something's happened, and he and his friend Steve talks about a problem. And then Steve says, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big problem." I don't know what sound American up, but yeah. And then Jeff says, "Yeah, yeah, uh, it's a big problem to have." Uh, and then Steve says, "Well, it's maybe not the biggest top five problems, but it is a problem." And then and then Jeff says, "No, it's not the top five." And then Steve says, "What? You once sat down and arranged your problems in numerical order?" And then Jeff says, "Well, sometimes you have one of those days, or one of those nights." So, yeah, Jeff once sat down and wrote down all his problems, and he got to 27. So, yeah, that's funny. At least in my mind. Though I suppose kind of nice to have it down on paper, but sitting down and writing down all your problems. But yeah, since this is a booktube channel, I've decided that this is going to be the Jeff Murdoch 27 bookish problem tag. So this tag is quite simply write down 27 things that you things that you gripe with bookish in regards to books. It could be that you want books to come out faster. It could be bad covers. It could be that you want this author to write more. All the stuff that you do, that's up to you. Here, my friends, is my list of 27 bookish problems that I have. And I also have like tea to like finish to series, but also tea. I have tea with this stuff. Eating tea in always. First, give me a moment. I have written down that I haven't. Give me a little moment. There. I suppose maybe I could go. No, no, you know what? I'm gonna go it for first to last. The biggest. Where am I? You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go from last till first. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So it's more like a countdown. I should plan this before I start filming, maybe, but here I am. Uh, The 27th problem I have with books: no romance bookstore in Norway. I feel like there's like quite a few of them in the US. I feel like there was just one started in the UK. Probably a lot of places have some. Maybe there's one in Scotland. I don't know. I don't know if there's one in Sweden or Denmark actually, but at least yeah, there's none in Norway. You actually have a chain of bookstores or chain store that sells fantasy and science fiction stuff, like books, role playing stuff, board games, stuff like that. They have lots of books also. They have started to sell some queer books, but there's no one bookstore where they just sell romance. And I feel like that could just be the goal and the dream. But right now, there's none of that. And that's sad, at least in my mind. Seeing more and more being picked up, people talking about uh, raped bodies and interviews being held there and there, and like, there's nothing of that here. Sadly. Sadly. Yep. Then we have bookish problem number 27. Sorry, 27 again. 26. That we don't have really horrible histories in Norway. Horrible histories. In case you don't know, that's a kind of British, I would say kind of British brand, British, like, British icon thing, where they, well, it's books and TV series where it's made for kids, but it's all about the history, and but also written in a funny way. They have songs and episodes. I think there's some movies, etc., etc. Okay, so I haven't seen all the horrible histories to do's, but what I have seen of it, it just sounds so fun, and I feel like it could be just a very fun way to learn history. And we don't really have that in Norway. We have comedians and we have historians, and we have some comedians that like history and talk about that sometimes. But we don't really have that in movie form. Well, I suppose we used to have it. We have had some of it, but we don't really have it on the same scale, and we don't really have it currently. So I feel like that could be fun to have in Norway. You know what? I need more light. Sorry, but give me some light. Give me some light. When I'm gonna read stuff, you need to be able to read, don't you? And then we have problem number 25. I'm going to do it the right way now. 25. Uh, Ancient Wonders romance. So I feel like sometimes you find books where there's like, it's kind of like Indiana Jones style, where people are uh, going around saving this and this artifact, maybe some kissing, but I feel like a lot of those books are just kind of like just Indiana Jones, but like more less fun. But yeah, and then you have some books where it's kind of that. And then I also know there's actually at least one middle grade series where they go around to the ancient wonders of the world, like the Pyramid of Giza, but also the Hanging Gardens, all those places, and save the world and whatnot. And I honestly, I can't quite. I'm a history buff, kind of. I love history. I love in ancient wonders of the world. But I feel it's fun, like to have people time travel to that place, and then romance happens, or have people who are immortal who come from that place, like Atlanteans, but also romance could be so fun. Not quite the same, but yeah, I feel like that could just be so fun. Again, probably if this exists. I mean, I haven't checked. There's a lot of books out there. Maybe there's some new books about that out there. If there are, please give me some recommendations in the comments. But if not, I won't let it happen. Please, everyone, like a love story happening around the Pyramid of Giza, or a love story happening around the ancient wall of China. So fun. And then we have yeah, and then we have uh, problem number 24. Some of these are books related, and some of them, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why is there no Jeff Murdoch book? So like there are some books sometimes when you have like uh people who are into people who played in that movie. Like you have recently, you had Michael J. Fox putting out a book all about his Back to the Future days. You have books where there's quotes from movies, but there's no Jeff Murdoch book. Like honestly, you can just. I feel like maybe the easiest way to do this would just put his quotes in a book and sell it because he has so many good quotes, so many good quotes. But also, honestly, I like a Jeff Murdoch biography could also be so fun because we know some stuff about him, we don't know everything about him, and yeah, I mean. When you see a favorite movie or TV series, you often kind of want more because it's just so cool and so good. And I mean, honestly, yeah, I kind of want more coupling. Like if they made more episodes with these characters, so fun. But like you need to have all the things to get together for that. You need time, you know, the studio, money, etc., etc., etc. But writing a book with Jeff Murdoch things based around Jeff Murdoch could just be so cool. I don't know why it hasn't happened. And you don't really need the actor even to like be a part of it. You just need the Stephen Moffat to write down stuff and have like BBC or someone publish it. Shouldn't be that difficult. Like, I feel like that could be fun. It could be so fun. You give money from it. You could give some money to like to people to the BBC. You give money to like I know that this year is like the reading year in the UK. People want people to read more. Like quote books is a way to get people to read more. It's short, but also so fun. And yeah, yeah. Moving on. Then we have num bookish from me not being able to talk. No, bookish problem. No, number 23. There's not really any books like coupling. Now, I suppose, yeah, sometimes a reason why you love a movie or TV series is because it's so unique. But also, it's kind of fun to also read stuff that are similar to it. And I have actually found quite a lot of books that are similar to different movies that I love. Like, you have, like, I love Disney, and there's a lot of Disney retellings. I love rom-coms, a lot of rom-com books. But I feel like things similar to coupling. It's about people falling in love. It's about workplace romance. It's about people dating and making mistakes and stuff like that. But I feel like it's all about the core friendship group, and it's also about it's just they're just so funny, and I feel like some books have parts of this, yeah, but I don't really feel like it just all, and also it's just so funny. I feel like yeah, I'm really fun. It's similar to it, and it could just be fun to see something similar. Haven't found it yet, sadly. But yeah, I suppose again, if you know something similar-ish that you feel like could be similar vibes, give me recommendations. I think people ask people on Instagram. Some people give me a recommendation like, "How's that?" I mean, yeah, sometimes if you have like friends who find love, that could be quite kind of it. But I feel like I don't know. For me to I feel like something similar to coupling, it would need to be based in the UK. I suppose it's neat. Well, yeah, honestly, kind of based in the UK. A friend group of 6 people. Some people knew each other longer, some people haven't, and it has to like lots of love drama, but also work drama. It can't just be love drama. So yeah, that's kind of my, and also has to be very very funny, poignant, but also very funny in my mind. But I have to think. What? Yeah, because acronyms. How are they used all the time? But yeah, so my next problem, the next thing I have tea with is there's not really, well, again, probably might be some, but books like The Road to El Dorado, one of my favorite movies of all time. I even have their own Road to El Dorado book tag. But yeah, I love that movie so much. But I feel like there's no books like that. Like, yes, we have books where people run around jungles from bad guys and whatnot, and also some love happens. There's also books where like people find ancient or lost cities and stuff like that. But I feel like there's a few books where there's a friend group or like two friends and then also stuff happens. I feel like quite often it's co-workers or it's people who aren't friends who just go do stuff on their own. I suppose kind of get curious. It's kind of in a way maybe, but not. But yeah, because it's a big group, I suppose maybe that would be honestly closer I would get to it. I'm thinking. Yeah. Do you know any books where two? Yeah, honestly, I kind of want books where two friends stumble over a lost city. Give me that. I want it. Okay, I need it. Mm. And then we have problem number 21. More travel romances. So I know there's some of them like you like, and here I'm talking about books where they fall in love while on a cruise. They fall in love while on maybe they're backpacking someplace. Maybe they're going on honeymoon. Like they have to like on honeymooners, for example, because they fall in love on the on honeymoon or yeah, you know. So yeah, just kind of romance that happens during a trip, during a travel, during a journey. I think that's really not that common, or maybe I'm not reading the right books here, but I haven't really found them, and I want to find more of those. I feel like that could it's just so fun because I mean traveling is just so fun. You often you can't do it because expenses, but then of course next to best things to read about people traveling, and also reading about people falling in love while traveling is just the ultimate. So yeah, and then we have problem number 20, more time travel romances. Again, there's probably a lot of ones out there that I haven't gotten to yet, that I haven't read yet. But also, I feel like, yeah, like newer ones. I feel like nowadays you either have historical romances, or you have contemporary sports romances, or you have cowboy romances. I feel like there's few newer few newer time travel romances that are kind of, yeah, that are newer. Like, yeah, you have Outland, but except Outland, can you really name any? Like, I can name maybe two or three. Like, you have, of course, I know there are some. Like this one came out recently. But, like, it's not really, I feel like there's often, like, you could count on one hand how many comes out each year. I can't more, please, give us more. Give us time travel romances. I want more of it. And I can't do it wrong. Next problem is books with funny titles. Oh, sorry, funny chapter titles. I feel like there's a lot of books that are funny, and then there's books that have funny characters, funny lines, funny dialogue. There are books that have funny titles also. But how many books do have funny chapter titles? Honestly, not that many. Like recently, I read this book, which had it, yes. And yeah, I feel like it might be a lot of like Rick Riordan, like famously does it a lot. But I feel like it's not that common really. And I want it more. I'm not like I want it to happen all the time. I mean, yeah, with me on that chapter title, it's just funny. I love books so much more. So much. And then book is question problem number 18. When books aren't being don't get I can't talk. When books aren't being translated. Now I'm speaking in general, like books that like things that are written in Swedish, things that are written in Turkish, like that things aren't translated to English because I feel like often the English market is just like you need to be an author from this country or we don't care about you. So that because I want to read all the books, but I don't know all the languages. But also that things aren't translated to Norwegian. Because yes, I read all the books in English. But a lot of my friends, well, I know some people who don't do it. There's not like everyone in Norway who reads. I don't know what happened there. There's not like everyone in Norway who reads loves to read in English. It's not. And also to preserve your language, you need to read stuff in the language. So yeah, stuff being available in Norwegian would also be cool. It's been happening more lately, but it's still not so much. Like also like the Swedes, the Danish have like a lot of things similar to us, but they have a lot more books available in the language. We don't. It's stupid. It's weird. Not cool. Not cool. Then we have question. Problem number 17. Books with spoilers on the covers or like on the back. So this, like, I'm not gonna say the title of the book, but I did read a book a few years ago. It was last in a trilogy, and at the summary at the back of the book, it mentioned something, so I knew it was gonna happen. So I was reading the book, thinking like, "Oh, it's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen now." It didn't happen until halfway through the book. To me, that's a spoiler. And why would you have that at the back of the book? No, you don't. You could say that things are happening, everything is going down because it's the last book in a trilogy. You don't need to be specific. You don't. And also, the book happened during the First World War. You could just say things are scary because the war is going on. You didn't need to give this detail. Uh, It annoys me. Okay, it annoys me so much, so much. Hmm. And then we have me coughing. Question. I also say question. My bookish problem number 16. No brainer books not being adapted. So I understand, honestly, I understand that not every book can be adapted. And also, sadly, some books are adapted and don't get adapted well. I understand not every fantasy book out there can be adapted because money and stuff like that. But also, there's like a thousand Game of Thrones spin offs, so I mean, instead of doing the same adaptation all over, or like spinning off all the same series, can't you look further and do other stuff? For example, in my mind, I feel like, for example, Hex Appeal. This one takes place mainly in the UK. There's a bit time travel in it, but like not a lot. I feel like shouldn't be that difficult to really do. Time villains. I feel like it shouldn't be that expensive to do. You have Blackbeard there. I mean, villains and stuff. But it doesn't need to be that expensive. I feel like this could easily be done and filmed and could be so cool. And then you have I don't know why I'm hitting the camera. And then you have things like the Mediator, which yes, there's ghosts, but also there's so much ghost stuff out there. What this hasn't adapted yet? I don't know. I'm not going to go into all this, but I feel like there's so many books out there that shouldn't be that difficult to adapt, and they're just being ignored in a graveyard of ignored adaptations. They're just being ignored for everyone else. It's weird, okay? It's stupid. It's stupid. Uh, sorry. And then we have books with misleading characters or misleading covers. So if like for example the main character in the book is described over and over again as being fat, everyone talks about her being fat. She knows to herself that she's fat. She's like far from thin. She uses size 44 or size 50 or it's like it's obvious she's fat. And then on the cover, it's a picture of like Kate Moss. Like what? I mean, it's just false marketing. Okay, it's just no, 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 no. And then we have uh bookish from problem number 14. Books with blurbs on the cover and on the back, not a summary. It's just lots of people saying that this book was amazing. Like, I suppose it sounds like I love the romance in this series, or I love the opening line in this book. Cool, because then you get something. But if it's just like, this is a book everyone has to read, I'm like, why? Because Lee Child said so? Like, I want to know what it's about, okay? I want to know what the book is about. Ba-ba-da-bum. Then we have books not having numbers on spines. So some books do it, like this one. It has book 4 on the spine. But sadly, a lot of books don't. I'm trying to find another example. Blah, 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 blah. This one. It's a first in a series. Doesn't have a number on the spine. No. Stop it. Stop it. So much easier when it has. Often doesn't. So weird. Hmm. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then we have books changing covers mid-series. I mean, I think honestly, I love these scribes. A lot of people agree with me with this one. Yeah. Why would you like? Maybe if this series is like 10 books and you're changing it mid-series, maybe I can understand it. But like some changed covers when there's one book left, and like, why? Why? It's weird. Okay, it's just weird. It's weird. And then we have yeah, books having bad audiobook narration. Either like the narration being like you feel like the accent is off, or like you feel like the yeah, it's just somehow bad. It's like no, no, no. What is happening here? No, please, please, no, please, please, no. Hmm. And then we have bookish problem number 10. Getting towards the end here, but yeah, top 10. Number 10, when books are ignored by publishers. So, for example, to give you an example, this book came out. Wait a moment. Came out last year. I read it on audio, loved it so much. It came out by an author who's had audiobooks out before. It's a YA book. It's a YA romance book. Lots of YA readers love romance. Lots of teens love romance. And yet, I remember this because it came out last year. A lot of people talked about this book, but people who talked about it, who were they? They were booktubers. People there were people on Bookstagram, on TikTok. Did people from HarperCollins, the publisher, talk about this book? No. Was this talked about on BBC America and stuff like that? No. It was ignored by the publisher because, I don't know, why should we care about people falling in love? Or why should we care about Asians falling in love, Asian Americans falling in love? We shouldn't. I mean, I understand you can't give all the money to all the books and whatnot, but to ignore a book completely, not a good look, people. Not a good look at all, at all. Hmm, hmm. And then we have gripe or problem number 9: books that you anticipate that don't live up to the hype. I mean, some books you just they're part of a series, or they might be by an author that you love, and you're counting on these until they come out. Pick up the book, it's like, oh, oh, when does it get when does it get good? What's is this the right book? What happened here? Did did the author or did the editor sleep on a job? Because the book is just does not live up to expectations at all. And it's like it's something else when it's just a book you haven't heard about. But it's when a book you anticipate. It's just so much worse. So much worse. Hmm. And then we have sorry. And then we have bookish problem number also give me a moment. Bookish problem number 8. Not enough SE editions, or to be specific, not enough special editions. So I feel like, well, sorry, not the best books out there. I feel like, yeah, there are a lot of SEs out there, special editions, a lot of books where you have You might have a fancy cover, you might have sprayed edges, something like that. But I feel like it's the same books over and over again. I feel like honestly, some books have like Percy Jackson and Magnificent Thief. I think it might have like 20 different covers, like just from the one publisher. That's a lot. Uh, I like special editions, but do they all have to do the same book? Uh, Me personally, I would love if this got a special edition. It's been out in the world for like maybe 15 years now. It came out in 2013. So it's been over uh 10 years. Soon 15 years. I can't count. Anyway, this I love this so much. I mean, yes, I love this cover, yes, but also could be fun if we did it as new cover or new edition. Yeah, do a new cover with like people who rave about the book. Even though I feel like this book is never talked about by anyone else but not me. But yeah. And also you could do a new cover. You could maybe have could you maybe have a short new story in this universe, like a short something, a prelogue or epilogue, something could be fun. You could have fan art in it. Honestly, I just want this to have a new cover or like a special edition. Could be so fun. You know what? I'm gonna do an own video on that. That could be fun. But yeah, more better books or other books with special editions in my mind needs to happen. And then we have not enough bookish merch. So yeah, I feel like often when you have merch, it's because of a movie happening. But also, there's so many uh, bookish quotes out there from books that haven't been adapted at all. I mean, and also like for example, I think it was C.S. Lewis who said, "You can never give me a book big enough or tea good enough or a cup of tea good enough. Like I will always want more." Put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a poster. I mean, yeah, lots of this stuff you can do a lot of these things online and do yourself, blah blah blah. But also, I feel like it's kind of like if you sold stuff like that in stores. I mean, I think a lot of people actually nowadays read ebooks, so they might read audiobooks. So maybe they don't go to Waterstones, they don't go to Barnes Noble anymore. But I will promise you, every reader out there loves their merch. They love like cool quotes on t-shirts. I mean, this one I made myself, but yeah, it's from Jeff Murdoch. Hi, hello. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just a no-brainer. Have more quotes. Put on clothes. Put on cups. Uh, put quotes on all that stuff. Really, I mean, why? Why? It's weird in my mind. And then we have ba-ba-da-ba-da. Yeah, problem number 6. No book quotes. Sorry, book quotes. Thinking about last problem. No bookish quizzes. So book trivia. I mean, there's lots of things you could ask out there about books. And as far as I know, I think this might be actually only one trivia book about books out there. I have one. It's, you know what, I won't show it to you because it's relevant. Yeah, so I lied. I have two. So I have this one, the Penguin Book Quiz book. Cool book. I very much enjoy it. But also, why can't other publishers get on board? This is Penguin book, quiz book. Can't HarperCollins do it? Can't like a tour could come up with a book all about quizzes all about fantasy books. Could be so fun. And then we have this, which is based on Astrid Lindgren stories. Also very fun. I mean, literature, but also based on movies and stuff. But like, there's just two, and there's so many quiz books out there, and then there's just two based around books. I want more. Okay, I want more quiz around books, please, please, people. Please. Then we have Top five. My fifth bookish problem is not enough new ND books. And then you say, what is ND? So, not enough neurodiverse books. I feel like nowadays it's getting more common to have books where the main character has ADHD or gets diagnosed with it throughout the book, or the main character has autism. But I would still say it's still not that common. Like it happens more, but it could definitely be way more. And I want to see more of it, please. And also, I feel like sometimes you have like this book. I feel like the main character and the main guy, Alfie, he read a lot, very neurodiverse, but we have never mentioned on page. So that was kind of weird. I think maybe a lot of books. I feel like maybe before. I feel like you might have a lot of books where people were neurodiverse, but they weren't mentioned because it wasn't talked about. But I feel like nowadays, if it's on page, can it be on page like specifically, like talk about for real? It could just be fun for me. And I suppose, yeah, I want neurodiverse in general. If someone writes a storybook about someone with NLD, which is what I have, my special spiciness. If someone does that, I would be over the moon. I mean, yes, we already have one book out there, and I love that book, so that's kind of what I want to talk about more books with that. But also, autism and ADHD is also, and also if you have bipolar, like all the neurodiversities could be so fun, and it's just being ignored by publishers. Please, publishers, please. Yep. And then we have problem number four. Not enough steampunk pop-ups. And now, yeah, I suppose pop-ups. Now, like I didn't say steampunk uh, stores because I mean, again, steampunk is part of the fantasy umbrella, and we have actually a fantasy uh, store here in Norway. It has lots of uh, lots of places that the store exists. But honestly, I think it could also be fun if they had like there's more and more places where there's spaces for lets because businesses are businesses are closing. And like sometimes you have actually like you have places where they have like a pop up cafe or pop up store like 1 or 2 days they have like sell like this bookstore also uses this space to have their sales and whatnot. I feel like it could be fun to like just have a pop up with just like a specific theme, but also specifically here, pop up with just steampunk books would be so fun. Like I feel like for me, I feel like pop up you don't need like a 2 or 3 stores. You didn't really like huge place, but like maybe I can't talk about but like a middle-ish store with like maybe 5 or 10 shelves. That could be enough to sell steampunk books because a lot of them are long series. I love writers write a lot of steampunk, and that could just be so fun. And we don't have that, so sad. Then we have top three bookish problem. Top three. Not enough authors come to Norway. So I mean, yeah. Also, like not enough authors get translated. At least not in my opinion. But also, like not all the authors that are translated come to Norway. And yeah, I want to meet more authors. I suppose you could say, can't you go to them? Yeah. A lot of my offers are from the US. That's expensive. Like the favorite offers are from US, but also just to go to UK also is expensive. I mean, people do go on tours, so please don't ignore Norway. We a lot of us do read, and a lot of us do read in English. So please come to Norway, please, please, pretty please. Yep. And we have problem number two. Number two. Numero dos. Andre problem. I felt like saying all languages because cliffhangers. I think all of us are gonna agree here. Cliffhangers the worst. The worst. So stupid. So annoying. So annoying. But it still happens. And yeah, I mean, I do get the point of them. It's because they want people to buy the book, want people to be excited for the next book in series, whatnot. But still, to honest, I, I, I don't know. And then for the last, my number one bookish problem is being broke. And X book, or like the book that you want, has a long waiting list on the library. I mean, yeah, I do understand that if you don't have money, you can always go to a library. But I feel like sometimes I do like go to a library and feel like I want this book, and then I ask the librarians, "Do you have it?" And they might not have it, or I ask and they say yes, but it's a waiting list, and it's like, oh, and yeah, yep. That's my 27 bookish problems that I have. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And yeah, of course, if you want to do this, tag your it. But also, I'm automatically gonna tag Paula because you also love Jeff. But also, anyone who wants to do it, do it. You don't. I mean, you don't have to have seen coupling to do this tag, but it's based on that. And if you want to check it out, coupling, it's actually on Amazon Prime. I would highly recommend you do that. And yeah, see you later. Bye.